start?
Building committee.
2, 3, 4,
Yeah, we do.
6.
Six.
Mhm. Yep,
Okay,
okay. We're live.
okay. Welcome to the Regional School District 13 Board of Education Special Meeting, Building Committee, July 15th, 2026, 5 p.m. Please stand for pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, prior to public comment, we'll go around, announce ourselves and our affiliations. Howard Weisberg, Building Committee.
Eric Correa, Facilities.
Lucy Petrella, Board of Ed.
Bob Moore, Board of Ed.
Kim Newbeck, Director of Finance.
Sydney Leggett, Superintendent. Christine Cowan, Board of Ed.
Rob Craftston, Building Committee. Greg Parkman, Building Committee.
Carson Collier, QAM Architecture. Rusty Malik, QAM. Jay Gurley with O&G Industries.
And do we have anybody online?
We have Darren is online and we do have another person online if you would like to. Oh, are we at public comment?
Yep, you are now in public comment.
Angela is also there.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
great.
Raise your hand if you'd like to say anything.
Okay, no public comment? Oh, we got Darren.
Sorry.
He wants to be a panelist.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, come up to panelists. Darren, can you hear us?
He's there. Darren, can you hear us?
I think you have to unmute yourself.
There he is.
Okay, all right. So give us.
Is my microphone working?
Now it is.
Okay. Item number 3, approval of agenda. Can I get a motion to, let's look at the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make motion
So
to
moved.
approve the agenda.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Great. Motion to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Approval of minutes, June 12th, 2026, June 17th, 2026, July 1st, 2026. Everybody's minutes were included in their packages. Any discussion beforehand? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second? We have a second. I have a motion on the table, approve the minutes of June 12th, 2026, June 17th, 2026, July 1st, 2026. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain because I wasn't here for the July 1st one.
Okay, motion passes. Item 5, memorial renovation expansion, partner updates. We'll start with Jay.
Give a brief update of where we are out on the site. So shoring continues. 7 trap for road control that's been completed. Temporary power is ongoing. We're just waiting for Eversource to put a couple poles on along the street, and we'll get that activated. Stripping of the topsoil is ongoing. Salving the playground equipment is completed. Any of the site cuts has commenced. Foundation excavation in areas F and G, which is the 2-story classroom, that has started. We actually got the rebar shops back earlier this week, so the rebar is released, so we're about 2 weeks away from starting some foundations in the classroom addition. Interior wall layout is still ongoing. The top track is commenced. And the plumbing layout for the saw cutting is complete in areas E and B. We're just waiting for the double guy to saw cut those areas. And we also started some masonry infills, the old openings of duct penetrations, plumbing penetrations, all that. The mason's out there, he's patching all that in. So that's kind of where we are right now.
You mentioned playground equipment. Is that being disposed of, salvaged? What's the?
We removed some of it from the construction. We just kind of relocated it.
Okay. Great. How are we updating the webpage at all with construction update?
It's been updated just about every week,
Fantastic.
Yeah. and it looks really good.
Awesome. And John G. Mateo's here. John, do you wanna?
John.
Fantastic. Have you been doing any site photos or?
I haven't yet. I just noticed there's probably enough to actually start showing some differences.
Excellent.
So next week or so, I'll probably swing by if there's a,
Yep, just out by the trailer.
Yeah.
We're there.
Great. Any other questions about construction?
No questions, but I would like to admit that going by, it's a large project and the site is really looking, I mean, it looks great. It's not messy. And every night when we leave, you see all the big trucks all parked nice in a nice row on the side there. So doing a good job, keeping it looking pretty good.
I'll pass that along to the site contractor. Thank you.
Great. All right, Rusty, Carson, anything for us?
Yeah, I mean, our standpoint, we continue to participate in kind of OAC meetings, continue on with CA, review of submittals, RFIs as they come through. I don't know, this was brought up last week, one of the discovered conditions, we did discover an underground electrical chamber that was abandoned underneath some sidewalk at the front of the school, right next to the old oil tank. Wasn't on any survey and we were surprised to find it. So we worked with ONG to get Eversource out there. They did their investigation and just confirmed that it wasn't connected to anything. It was an abandoned kind of area. So we'll work with ONG to kind of get pricing to remove that chamber essentially, just so it's not an obstruction for any potential future work. That way, and we'll bring all that information to you once we have kind of definitive numbers there. That's one of the new conditions that we discovered kind of digging around the building at this point. Other than
no
that,
chance of turning it into a pump house type thing.
unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. Just a little too small. But yeah, other than that, we had a very productive meeting this afternoon with the administrative core group just to do an update on the FF&E meetings that we had with the faculty during the school year. Kind of bring them all up to speed on what our findings were, what some action items are, scheduling our demo day. So we'll be working closely over the summer to kind of finalize that before the start of the school year. Then once we get to a good point, we'll kind of bring that information to the board just to bring you guys up to speed with where things sit as well.
Great. Anything else, or is that pretty much it? Eric, anything on your end?
No, busy summer here, getting things ready for the fall.
All right, cool. All right, I guess, item number,
We have Angela. Angela, did you want to?
oh, yeah, no, Angela's here, that's right.
Just unmute yourself. There you go.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Yeah, no, I don't have a report. I just wanted to cover for Marnie 'cause she's on vacation this week and, anticipating a discussion about VE or alternates. I just wanted to be here to help with that.
Great. Okay, so now I guess we can discuss some of the bid alternates. I know we've analyzed a bunch of them. There's been a number of discussions on what can be included, what can be excluded. How do we want to start this? Kim, Sydney, you guys want to take the lead?
Well, I think there's two lists, right? There's one list that Jay, you sent along about some things that have been pending for a while that the building committee still need to decide on. I think we should probably do those first.
Mhm.
And then after that, we can move to the list we talked about last week.
Okay.
And then also looking at, we need some discussion about kind of the value engineering or value managing the outdoor classroom space.
Great, and I have some ideas on that too. I've had a couple of short discussions on that. Would we be able to, Kim, putting you on the spot?
Oh, I already practiced.
All right.
So
good
that's the
job.
value management though.
They're both the same log. The second one I sent includes everything. So I don't know if you want to do the second one I sent.
The July
14th.
14th one.
Yeah. Because the first one I sent out was the one that Laura was
Well, I'm
working
gonna
on.
see my, I'm gonna see my,
Here, you can do Windows 8. And just say PC screen, I'm not sure which one is. And then do the rest of it, and then already a duplicate again, I'll just the screen and get you back. I think that's.
All right, Jay.
You have numbers for the canopy removal with and without benches, correct, and the new one as well.
Yeah, we're expensive pension, so.
That was Tuesdays,
Because those.
Yes.
Those are the
Tuesday
ones
was
that
the
were
second
correct.
one. Tuesday.
July 14th. The second one. I got a 3-pager.
Yeah, the 3-pager one, yeah.
Okay.
Third pages, that much.
Go back to Zoom, let me share. One. Okay. Says I'm sharing.
So just so I know, this is stuff that's already sort of in place and we can add to and subtract, right, or not? Everything on this list is,
Yeah, most of it.
Implemented the way it is.
Laurel's original list, most of it's off the table if we haven't accepted it already.
okay,
And then I think it's the one that highlighted in yellow, you'll see on the sheet that are ones that we can discuss.
okay, I don't see any.
Here you go. And then figures, yeah, they're sharing, so we're good.
Okay. Jay, you want to drive this or?
The first one's number 9. This was changing the stamp and colored concrete. The one that's kind of still rejected originally, but
What's our shortfall?
We were at $180,000 last I checked.
Yes,
Is that still
I
correct?
am going to promote Angela to. So, learning how to do this.
You're doing great.
Go ahead and unmute Angela.
I don't think I could figure it out.
You get used to driving.
No, that's strong. It's not a-
All right, I'm here. Thank you.
Angela, are we still at the 180,000 shortfall?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it possible to turn off the left part so we can see like the full screen, see a little better?
Yeah. Do this.
Sorry.
Get that.
Maybe just grab this.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ah, that's something.
You can.
Let me see, I can hold you this thing.
Hey,
Right.
go to it. Oh, yeah.
That's good. All right. So 38,000 is the colored concrete, obviously, you know, we don't want to strip away too many aesthetic features from this project. I know this was one that was
Different date.
So looking at
Relatively,
simple numbers, it looks like if we accept 10C and 11, we get to just over 180. But we had a discussion about laminate countertops, and we really didn't want to go that route. But
Yeah, and also that would get us to the 180, but that wouldn't give us much in terms of bringing back any elements of the outdoor classroom, right? So I think we need to.
and I think we have to have a discussion on that too, because,
do we have numbers on the outdoor classroom?
it was a lump sum. It was 270, was it 275?
yes.
But I think we can value engineer, it significantly and have a lot of discussion on it.
But if that's, I think that's not in the project right now, right?
Right.
So we have to add whatever,
Mhm.
number to the 180, yeah.
What exactly is in the project? So not accepting, is that doing nothing or is it doing a more?
Drainage and grass.
Just grass.
Didn't make that.
And all the drainage is there already, so it's not like we have to worry about it, but. But there are, yeah, and we'll discuss, we'll have an outdoor classroom discussion. I think I prepped you guys on some of the questions. So I agree with Darren. Maybe we jump and skip 9 for now. Why don't we discuss 10B and 10C and discuss, Jay, if you can explain the difference between 10B and 10C.
The 10B is the straight cost of just deleting canopy 4. And we'll have just sidewalk.
Okay,
10C includes, I think it said 3 or 4, I think it was 4 benches.
are these metal benches or are these brick and concrete?
They're just metal benches.
Okay. So how many?
4. There'll be 4 along that area.
So 4 metal benches are $17,000?
Yes.
Is it just benches or is there like concrete pads that go with it or anything?
It'll be a concrete pad that extends off the sidewalk area, because that's reducing that canopy.
Or do cheaper bench?
Wouldn't be covering all of that with
Yeah.
impervious
So I was
surface.
just wondering if we got rid of the benches or, we're getting rid of the concrete and that's in the credit or is the concrete still gonna be there? We just buy benches later if we have money.
No, it won't be there. If we have a little bump out, it won't be
Yeah, it
there.
won't be there. So it's the benches and not
Yeah.
hardscaping.
I would, you know, buying benches and putting in benches for parks and other things. I think we can outfit this in a much more cost-effective way than 17,000. I think the 17,000 is far more important now to make up that budget number. And I would pursue 10B and figure out where we need to go and, you know, what our needs are in terms of providing seating once it occurs.
Maybe it could be a class gift or something.
Yeah, there are so many ways that you can get benches. They can be they can be memorial benches. There are so many things that you can do. We can do planters, as you said, class gifts.
Yeah.
I would opt for 10B to get us much closer. Were these the only, these were the only outstanding ones?
No, there's page
There's
2.
more.
Oh, all right, let's jump to page 2 before we go to discussing 11 then.
Where is the irrigation and do we really need it?
It's on the second page.
Yeah, but where in the ground is it? Is that what you're asking? It's just an allowance right now because there's no design.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So now it's a 30 grand. It's in there to do something, but it's still not designed.
What is your plan for irrigation for this? I mean, do you have is your plan to have irrigation installed?
No, not being on a well. I mean, the only irrigation that was for the soccer field. I think that's probably most.
Do they have irrigation now?
They do.
Okay.
Those fields aren't being disturbed, so.
Is that irrigation gonna remain?
It's on a separate well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all.
So this irrigation is what, for the front of the building or?
I think it would be for anywhere where we have planter beds, kind of from a low maintenance standpoint. So yes, there'll be kind of drought resistant plantings anyways. It's just kind of low maintenance, but
Well, it's more crap that you have to do.
Heads, sprinkler heads.
Okay, I would honestly opt to get rid of the irrigation then. Once again, if you decide that in the future this becomes a huge issue, we can look at irrigation. I'm sure you won't because of the maintenance required for irrigation systems.
Yeah.
And they're always getting nicked anyway. So, okay, so we're going for 27. I have some concerns and thoughts on 28. Site work, once you have excavation occurring and are laying asphalt, the cost to do incrementally more is far less than the cost to pick up, start over again. If we don't put the structure in for future tennis courts and pickleball courts, they're never coming back in. It's never gonna happen. It's gonna be a new permit. It's gonna be new erosion sediment control. It's gonna be new mobilization. It's significant. If we want to cut costs, I think we can look at the lighting. What did you estimate the lighting was gonna?
I think it was a couple thousand per light. We have 8 lights.
So you're looking at, potentially 20 grand for lighting. Does that include conduit runs?
Yeah.
Okay, so we could look at 16,000 for lighting. Which if we're ever gonna do the alternate parking is also gonna need lighting, so we could get some economies of scale by having a lot of conduit put in at the same time and a lot of lighting put in at the same time.
Yeah, we don't have lighting on high school courts or any.
No, and it's not a school necessity. But I really have a concern about trying to, get asphalt back. The other thing we can always look at is, cost of finishing the surface. We could just surface the 2 courts now save whatever the surfacing is for the other two courts until we know we have funding for it. So I don't know how much surfacing may cost, but I know
I don't know that.
it's probably, isn't it a couple thousand per court?
It's a lot.
So we could save conceivably $4,000 or $5,000 by only surfacing the two courts, leaving the other two courts as just asphalt, so that when funding comes in, we can surface it with almost no outlay.
So if this completely removed would have been $100,000 off of the project, what would it be with what you're describing?
It'd probably be about, tennis court, pickleball. We would, instead of saving 100,000, we would probably save 20, 25. But if we ever wanted those courts back, the cost is significantly more than $100,000.
So should we table that item and get revised pricing for what you're speaking of?
What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, I can get, these are just estimated, 100,000, a complete estimate, because we were kind of, whatever was a month or so ago, we were kind of just throwing, get rid of one court, get rid of two courts, do this.
I just think once you get rid of it, they're never coming
So
back.
you're-
My
saying-
thought is keep them, but get rid of the lights.
Get rid of the
Get rid of the
light,
lights.
and if we have to get rid of don't surface two of them,
Yeah.
leave two of them blank.
So you should do the site work for 4, but only finish 2.
Yes, yeah, I think the site work is really hard to get mobilized back. For a contractor to come in and just do two courts is gonna cost a fortune. We'll just never get it back.
I feel obligated to say, like, we triaged a list of
Mhm.
things that had the greatest educational impact for
Mhm.
learning, safety and efficiency, and these were at the bottom of the list.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't disagree. And that's where I think some value engineering on the outdoor classroom too can
Well,
really help.
the one thing is, there were courts there that we're removing. Did Middlefield pay for any of that, or was that always our?
They paid $20,000 towards that, but they have to pay the rest.
And how much was the rest about, Kim?
100.
Yeah.
I remember a board member being very,
Mhm.
very big about pickleball courts and
Yes.
everything else.
Yes.
It's just strange how it all comes back around.
But I think leaving it unfinished creates some additional outdoor play, it creates additional outdoor play area. I think, like I said, you can't get it back. It becomes very, very challenging to get it back, and the cost is incremental, so much cheaper if they're already out there. But I definitely think the lighting should go. I think the lighting is a big cost. I'd like to see what can and can't be done there.
Was there a conversation at one point that you can't call them pickleball courts because of the reimbursement?
Reimbursement. We'd have to have pickleball as part of our regular curriculum.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought it could because we were removing it to build the parking lot. It was an existing condition that was there that we were replacing.
I don't remember that, but maybe Carson or Rustaman.
I
I don't remember that.
We're calling it recreation.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then-
It's all
then-
basketball, isn't it?
Then that's,
Yeah.
frankly, we can paint everything as more Foursquare. Yeah, there's nothing that indicates we can't just make more outdoor play space.
Mhm.
So, something to consider just in terms of construction. You can't get it, you can't get it back if we,
I'm okay with that. Like, I would be okay if they're not
Right.
there because they don't serve an educational purpose. That's my perspective.
nope,
Obviously, it's
and
up
that's,
to the
and that's
building
fine.
committee.
If we want formal pricing, I would just need revised drawings.
It's a shame the school isn't closer. to
Well,
here.
wouldn't it just be removing the lighting?
Mhm.
We're keeping everything in place.
We talked about some of the courts not getting striped, right?
Yeah, I would just wouldn't stripe.
Just if we can get a revised sheet, which ones you don't want striped.
Well, the striping is gonna be the least of the cost
Right.
from the
Yeah.
overall servicing comparatively.
Well, yeah, I just wouldn't even surface it. I would put the asphalt down and just not surface.
So that's a little different at that point. So if that's the direction that you want for us, then we can provide that and provide a clarity sketch for.
Surfacing's really expensive.
So
Just put the asphalt down and.
Just put the asphalt down, but surface the school related activities, which are the Foursquare and the basketball, correct?
I see Darren has the same number.
Darren has to stand up. Go ahead, Darren.
Is this reimbursable as an in-kind replacement? Or is it qualifying for reimbursement some other way?
But it was used for a area. be part of the reimbursement. So if
So-
you're designating it as a paved play area, then it's part of the, and it's on the documents, and it's,
Okay. How is it designated on the plans? Is it designated as paid play area?
I believe that's.
So
Yeah.
are we at all at risk with this not being reimbursable?
We can check. I mean, it may fall into the limited reimbursement category, so we can confirm whether that there's any risk of it not being reimbursed.
But if it's a paid play area,
Yeah, simply as a paved area, we feel that it would be reimbursable.
life benefit, obviously surfacing it keeps it lasting longer.
If it's just an asphalt pad, but we don't wanna slow down the train either. If we have to redesign these courts. You know, these guys have to go back to the drawing.
No, I think all we would do is just say, we're not surfacing half of it. We're, you know, we would still keep the same grading, the same drainage, the same fencing. We wouldn't put in lighting.
So we have to revise, we need a electrical site drawing.
Defense.
Yeah.
We have to get revised drawing,
Right.
or else someone out in the field is gonna pull up the latest drawing.
Oh, and so,
That's gonna get done. So I just, and we gotta get pricing, so I gotta forward.
so I think we definitely,
We get a ballpark of what that would be.
The service.
Cause if it's $1,000 saving, it's not worth.
It's not worth it,
the
yeah.
effort. But at least see what it would be ballpark.
if the surfacing's gonna save us $5,000, it's definitely worth considering.
But either way, we're talking about removing lighting.
I think the lighting has to go.
In my opinion, we should finish the courts as
Yeah.
planned, other than I can see an argument for eliminating the lighting.
Okay.
The rest of it, I don't think is worth it. Just
And
finish
it may
it.
not.
The credit you'll get will be.
I'm a fan, it's gonna be a couple $1,000 at best.
Yeah, I'll get a
Probably what
number.
they're gonna give you.
Okay, if you can get a number just so we can consider it.
You want just the half, right? There's tennis, there's like a tennis court and then a tennis court pickleball kind of overlay.
Yeah, so pretty much from Foursquare basketball, keep that as blacktop surfacing. And then everything planned north, keep that as the court surface.
We're keeping the Foursquare in the basketball.
Keeping it, but it's just gonna be on blacktop surfacing.
Oh, really? No, I thought it was the other way. I thought we were,
You wanna do it that way, you want,
I thought
The other
the
area
Foursquare and
that's
the basketball are the school related activities, correct?
We cut this in half last meeting, I think.
Yes, we
right?
did. Mhm.
We cut the courts in half, so we picked the left, the right side.
Okay,
The right side of the basketball court.
Yep,
and that's the side we're keeping.
yes.
Right, now we're gonna do everything. We're just not going to put the striping down on the tennis and pickleball, correct?
Yeah, I'll get a price to see if it's worth it or not.
Right. But I just, if we're doing a little bit, the incremental savings of not putting in the other just doesn't make sense. Plus, it once again becomes additional outdoor play space.
With
So
the
just
the asphalt weather though, like,
We're gonna have crack seal.
yeah,
cracks and-
then we're gonna keep that up for
Yeah,
until there's.
I think that's why we want to get a cost on it, just to see what it is.
Preferably, we wouldn't wanna do it.
Yeah,
agree.
my-
And in the perfect world, it's just eliminate the lights.
Yeah, my preference is to build what we remove, put back what we removed in terms of surface. Just designated as play, which is kind of what we did, but I don't see the need for lights if we're in a pinch.
Can we talk about what we're doing with 18 and 19?
Yeah,
Could I ask a question first, though? If there's a settlement with Middlefield, we might be able to keep both of them. Because we want to get that outdoor classroom back in there.
Right.
But-
That has to take priority.
My-
with pickleball courts.
yeah, well, can we we'll discuss it after our classroom after we get to this,
Yeah.
because there's an awful lot that doesn't justify 275,000 that we really need to discuss
I agree.
completely independently of this.
Oh, before we move on, can I just have a clarification on the canopy? You're saying canopy 4. Exactly which canopy is it? Is it all of them? Is it just one particular one or?
When you're looking at the school, it's the one on the right.
correct,
So
so at the main
that's the
entrance, the long one that goes along the main
Yeah.
office kind of front elevation. We'd be removing that one. So it was more like a,
One canopy
Just
on the
that one.
right-hand side when you're looking at this.
Some photos somewhere in your
Yeah.
emails.
Remember the recent
shows it.
rendering
Yeah.
of,
Yep.
Well, I'm just not
That-
sure.
that-
Sometimes we've talked about all these canopies and I'm not
Yeah.
sure people
Yeah.
understand
Yeah,
exactly
so we're
what
only,
it is.
yeah, we're only looking at
Okay.
one canopy being removed, kind
Okay.
of at the front of the school, so it was more kind of like shelter for bus loading and unloading. At that point, just kind of providing a little bit more cover into the entranceway. But there are some significant savings by reducing and removing that one potentially.
While keeping
While keeping all the other.
while keeping the
Correct.
other one, and canopy three, serves a very, a number of very important purposes, aesthetically and functionally, so.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's a good deal. You wanna get,
it's in, I think were things that were suggested as VE items that we just wanted to get pricing on, right?
Uh-huh.
We felt like they might be worthwhile.
Yeah, so 18 and 19, I can kind of explain this just with our value management exercises with Laurel. So these were options that were proposed by Ferguson as potential credits to the overall project. In concept, without having detailed information for them submitting to us at this point, our team could entertain them. The problem that we foresee is making sure that the local officials are on board with this, because the one thing that's very unique here, and at the time we wanted confirmation on, is that Ferguson properly investigated every single roof type condition that we have, because they're fastening detectum decking in different areas, so then it's metal decking in other areas, so before we accept something wholesale, we didn't want to rule out any potential fastening method by accident, kind of upfront, when they actually needed it, so.
what type of time frame is needed on that one?
That one, I think we need to have a further conversation with Ferguson now that they've been in the building to kind of evaluate the conditions that they have there to determine whether or not those values are still accurate with what they're seeing. And then the secondary meeting needs to be with the AHJs at that point to make sure that they're comfortable with that fastening method as well.
It sounds like we can't make a decision on that, correct?
No, it's so. Do we need to know if they would be comfortable with it first? I mean, it's allowed by building code.
It is allowed by building code. We've run into past projects where AHJs have felt very strongly about certain attachment methods that they wanted to see. So we would advise that discussion taking place before proceeding with any credit management here.
Okay.
Is the attachment delegated design to Ferguson where they're, or?
It will be for their systems,
to their
but
system, so they're gonna engineer and stamp. it.
correct. As an abundance of caution, this is what we've just advised before moving forward on accepting it.
Okay, so that's gonna be one that we have on hold. And we go back to the stamped concrete discussion. Where exactly is the colored and stamped concrete?
So it's gonna be primarily at the front of your overall school, so the outdoor dining area, kind of as you're transitioning between the visitor parking area and the main entrance.
Inside the,
Yep, so we have kind of the stamped pathways. I think that main boulevard that kind of runs alongside the main drive aisle, we have some stamped and colored concrete in those areas as part of the visual kind of pathway leading toward the entrance as well.
So we were eliminating the color?
well, the alternative is to eliminate it. Eliminate both. Is that the only area of stamped or is there other stamped?
I want to say that's primarily where it was located at that point. I think the outdoor classroom, which is an alternate anyways, had some additional at that point, but that would be encumbered within
The outdoor
number as
classroom.
well.
So it's just, it wouldn't just be regular concrete?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm of, my personal opinion is I'd much rather furniture take the place of tech for texture and, just as a municipal public works guy, I hate stamped and colored concrete because it becomes a huge maintenance issue and I'd much rather the architecture and plantings and landscaping, address that and let concrete be concrete. But I'm open to everybody else's opinion on that.
Where are we at number wise? Sorry, so,
9.
oh, no, I meant number wise, like total, sorry.
We're at 184.
Okay, so we
Okay,
eliminated about 184.
I think you know my opinion, Howie, on the stamped color.
Yeah, no,
concrete.
and I do, and, you know, while we agree on pretty much 99% of stuff, I just, you know, my personal experience with stamped and colored concrete has never been positive. And, you know, if there's a crack, you know, or a patch, you know, matching it is impossible. And
Yeah, I mean, eventually, if you have to do work in 10 years, somebody
Yeah.
cuts it out and they do not patch it back with colored, it's just gonna be regular concrete.
And sometimes it the fade, you never know the fade, and, you know, it looks different, you know, it pinks on you. You know, it looks orange in one condition, it looks pink in the other, and, I just find that everybody always seems a little disappointed in it.
If the construction and expansion joints are laid out and work properly, you shouldn't get cracking where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
And any patch, other cement never matches anyway, so if you're
Yeah.
patching the cement in 10 years, it's not gonna match.
Right, but they're 5x5 blocks as opposed to a patch in a decorative area that's supposed to, you know, look like something that it isn't. You know, concrete is concrete, everybody knows it. When you're stamping it, you're pretending it's something else.
Eric, do we have any stamped or colored concrete anywhere else?
No.
No.
We were at 194 with irrigation and the canopies.
Oh, I forgot irrigation. Yeah, thank you.
Well, why don't we put this one on hold then and discuss the outdoor classroom?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Because as much as this is gonna be one of the last things you're doing, so we probably
We have
have,
time.
we have time to see how we're doing overall. But
Delivery comes in, don't color it and don't order the,
Will be next.
although to balance our budget now, if we wanna, I would assume if we take it now and in 6 months, we wanna add it back in, it would be 38 grand. Thank God.
Whatever happens that way.
plus minus. Yeah, and honestly, that's not a horrible way to go. It really isn't.
We can wait this winter, right? We're not
Yeah.
doing anything until next spring, so.
Exactly.
So if we, I didn't have the irrigation, but if we have the canopy number 4 without benches. We remove the lights from the courts, keep the other part, that's 20, and then the irrigation is 30, we're at 214, 378.
Forgot the lights.
Are these numbers fully baked or all the like percentage add-ons go on top of it once you got these numbers out?
So the
We need
canopy
185.
is pretty solid.
Okay.
Just gonna get the numbers in this week.
And we're at
The irrigation was just an allowance,
So if we take
so that's the
214
number, and then
minus
the only one with the budget was for the lights.
Then-
So it was about like 2 grand, like.
the dollars to put towards-
Your cost, stuff like that, is that on top of the 30 like for that, or is that in the 30 for the irrigation?
No, it'll be on top.
It'd be on top.
Yeah.
So
So these don't include anything.
these don't, so even the numbers we have.
Right, so that 164 for the canopy, you'll have to add file.
Okay, so there may be another.
All right,
I think they need more,
so
they need to know.
let's move to you want to discuss the outdoor classroom now?
Yeah.
Before we discuss alternatives, you know, the outdoor classroom was always designed as an alternate for the project. But we didn't really look into it too much. I believe you had your discussions with the outdoor classroom were based on, staff, was it developed based on conversations with staff? Or give us a little background on the outdoor classroom so we understand the parameters we have to work with when we, value engineer it.
Yeah, so the outdoor classroom, from the design standpoint, was kind of a programmatic request.
Okay.
Just because as we were doing our educational specifications, everyone really talked highly about using that outdoor space, kind of bringing students out there and everything. So now that we're kind of enclosing that with the building addition, having another location for outdoor learning to take place in a secure kind of configuration was a request that we had. So as part of our design strategy there, we were looking to at least designate 2 separate classroom zones, which is what we've provided in the current design that's out there, where you could have 2 separate classes independently on opposite ends.
At the same time.
At the same time out in that area. From a maintenance standpoint, I think talking with Eric and Patty, the primary consideration was low maintenance because it's an internal space. So with that, we wanted to try to minimize any sort of grass material that would be in there that would require weekly mowing. Because getting a lawnmower through hallways is not kind of a scenario to kind of treat an internal courtyard if we can avoid it. So the current solution that we have designed is very much low growth, low maintenance vegetation that's kind of just populating the overall area. Dedicated walking path with crushed stone, some hardscaped areas for your accessible pathways at that point, just to mitigate kind of water kind of infiltration to the drains that we have in the area, as well as removing the trees. We talked about that. We do have some shade covering within there. I think we are proposing a tensile shade canopy structure over one of the formal classrooms in that zone to provide some level of
It's a
shade.
good size too.
It's a good size.
It's a 30 by 30.
Yep.
Structure.
Yep, so we were targeting kind of a class of 24, which is kind of the high side of our typical class that we have there. So those are the considerations that we took into account as part of our third-party code review and review with the local building official and fire marshal. We did restrict the occupancy of that courtyard. That was one thing they wanted to kind of maintain. So all of our egress plans do indicate a max capacity within that overall area. So even though we're VEing it down to a grass area, all of the signage going into that space is gonna have a max occupancy restriction on it.
Does that play?
I wanna say we were. Let me look
Is
at,
it 2 classes?
I'll look at, it'll be more than 2 classes at that point. They were concerned about, they didn't want 600 people out in that courtyard. Because we do only have 2 exit points with double doors. There's plenty of egress there, but they had other concerns about simultaneous use.
Comfortably 2 classes can be out there.
Comfortably 2 classes, yes.
Now, was your impervious area based on the occupancy or not? And the area under the area of the classroom door, was that intended to be mulch or was that a hard surface?
We have it as kind of a hard surface area at that point. We do have some stone dust.
You have
kind of
stone
areas.
dust for the walking path.
Yep. And like I said, I'd have to pull up that plan again, just to
Okay.
kind of fine tune where things were located. But from a vegetation standpoint, it's a lot of low lying, low maintenance plants that you don't have to water. You may weed, pull some stuff out that just naturally falls in there from being outside. Once again, some ground cover essentially. at that
So
point.
the idea behind ground cover is that way, you know, people are not going out there. You're not putting people out there because they would be.
They're not
They're
They're limited to the.
there's limited space where you can stand. And I also think that having buffers between the paths and the buildings, the plan made sense. Like I said, I think there's a way to simplify it. There's also a way to build ownership for the students, you know. It's essentially a miniature garden plot. You know, we did sustain it. We did, pollinator pathways, utilizing students to do a lot of the plantings. I mean, there's lots of ways that a lot of this work can be, I think, accomplished, you know, under $275,000. And I think the big thing is looking at what we actually need for pathways. And maybe if we can get the hardscape pathways in and landscape over the year and, you know, do the trees as a donation, you know, Arbor Day, plant the tree in the courtyard or something. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that can be done. I think a 30 by 30 shade structure is, you know, massive, and maybe you can get away with smaller shade sales and,
Small trees.
yeah, small trees.
Not oak trees, not 3 oak
Yeah.
trees.
So I think this is a good exercise. And like I said, what you designed was great, but I think, you know, obviously there's probably a way to make it work that, you know, reduce some of the complexity, you know, everything was curved concrete. You know, and I think if we look at direct connections to the outdoor classrooms, but use the meandering stone dust path as, you know, kind of your perimeter walking route. Obviously it still has to be, you know, firm, stable and slip resistant, but stone dust meets that requirement.
Can I ask a semi-structural question instead of a fixed shade structure? What's involved in basically eyelets in the walls that cable for shade sails can be strung randomly?
Attached to the building.
We'd have to look at kind of additional reinforcement laterally on that wall.
Or 4 corner posts that you can string?
Yeah, I think part of the concern there too is how far do you want that to span? That courtyard's pretty big.
Yeah.
At that point. You'd have these massive cables spanning some great distances there. I would be concerned long-term with some of that.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Okay,
But-
Shade sails are nice. I mean, they're not terribly expensive.
Right.
If you get the right shade sails, they come down in the winter.
Yeah,
And I think that, they can be colorful. Shade sails can be used really effectively. I don't think you want to I think a 30 by 30 casts a massive shadow on it. I think you probably want,
that's what I'm thinking. If you had a series of eyelets. that you could
I
fit
think a
between,
couple
then
of shade sails probably
configuration
makes
go.
more sense than one giant 30 by 30, which could also be a fairly significant contributor to the cost.
Eric, what kind of maintenance would you be worried about if all of these pathways turn to stone dust?
Just weeds, overgrowth.
What about like snow? Like if we want kids out there in all seasons?
Yeah, snow, really depends on the winter. I mean, like, we can't get maybe a snow blower out there. Where are we gonna put the snow? We're boxed in there.
But you're also.
Your snow
I gotta
removal is
think
really
for the
gonna
hard
be
path.
building a mountain in the middle of it.
Exactly.
So that's an important thing to consider. If we have, a 15 or 20 inch snowfall, you've got to clear away from the edge of the building. So you're essentially going to be going around and
We're gonna run out of real estate.
yeah,
like we get
you're going to be blowing everything.
That
into
was
the
the
building.
advantage of the pavilion. You get a path out underneath the pavilion, you have that there, under a 30 by 30 pavilion.
But that thing would have to come down if we're going to have a heavy snow anyway.
You're gonna have a classroom if it's 30 degrees.
No, yeah, they're probably not going to be out there. No.
They should be.
If there's no snow.
Do it more, right?
I just did my own little budget. The 275 for the design wasn't a bad number.
Uh-huh.
In my opinion, it's a decent amount of work. And it's a nice design, so.
But can it be, but
It
the
can be
question is,
cheaper, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it's a bad number. I think.
no, there was a lot of sidewalk work and maybe it's just a little bit less, Darren, we'll go to Darren.
Wouldn't we, if we're gonna put a canopy out there, wouldn't we better just doing 3 posts and a triangular type of shade canopy?
But we can do different,
Yeah.
different approach to the canopy. I mean, I think ultimately it'd be nice to know what you're trying to work to budget wise. And then let us take a look at how we can try to achieve that budget.
Sure.
What's the big item now in the budget, the grading and soil?
That's right. Yeah, that's already included though, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Well, so there's more grading included with the option that we proposed at that point, because we are berming certain areas to give some separation between kind of classroom zones. For kind of planting beds and things of that nature, so it's not all just one flat opening. But to that point, we could simplify some of that additional grading with any kind of revised option there potentially as well.
Right. So the budget's 270,
275 is what.
275.
That was the bid number.
So if we said design something for 125,
Well, but yeah, the budget number is 0.
Yeah,
Just
nothing's in our
just-
number, right?
just grassing it 0, it still can be occupied. The challenge is it could be over occupied and there's no learning activities in there.
yeah.
So it's really, we're between 0 and 275. It's just, what's the cost of hardscaping some paths? What's the cost of canopies?
Except that we were wanting the over budget, we took 275 out right to get there.
No, it was never included in.
An alternate.
So it's
Oh,
an
An
add-on.
add-on.
Okay, so it was never in
But
there.
Jay, don't you need to know this soon, or if the site contractor's there?
No, that'll be something
Additional
we'll do in the
grading?
spring.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think the one concern that we had was trying to build that structure once it's boxed in, right?
Right.
So I guess we have
The
to,
shade sail? Shade sail.
It's a
No.
pavilion now. Design.
Oh, is it a pavilion?
Is it it's a hard top.
It's a hard top pavilion? I thought it was
Let me check the spec because I was under the impression it was a shade sail.
I thought it was a shade sail type
But
structure. I thought that's what it
I'll
said.
double check the model number on it because it could just be a code that I misread.
Yeah, I'll be honest, as an outdoor classroom, building an outdoor classroom and then covering it seems,
not covering it, just have one shade area.
Right,
Like if
but
they're-
with the-
if
but
they're
with the
meeting
shade-
out there,
but with
they
the-
have shelter.
but with the shade sail, you want it for sun protection. Not for gathering in inclement weather, because if it's inclement weather, you're going to be back in the building.
So if we aren't adding, let's say we're not adding anything in for the outdoor classroom, the drainage would still be done. And then it would just be planted as grass,
Grass.
and there would be no berms and no walkways.
Correct. Yeah,
Hey,
you have a concrete pad in front of the two entry doors, just so you have something stable going into the building. And then it transitions to grass from there.
But we can landscape it however, I mean, we can essentially still landscape it however we want. If you want to put river rock along the edges, so you didn't have, and that's honestly what I think. I think you probably want 2 feet of river rock along all the edges so that you don't have to worry about drainage and maintenance and weed whacking. And then build something internally that meets everybody's needs. But, you know, it should be a shade structure for warm weather, hot weather, sunny weather that can come down in the winter. Because you don't want to clear snow off of it. You don't want to,
No, those things just,
and they're designed to just come off. So Darren, you had another?
Yeah, Howard, can I suggest we have maybe a subcommittee meeting?
I think so. It's a great
To mark
idea.
up a plan, and possibly if Carson's available to attend, we mark up a plan and figure this out.
I think it's a great idea.
I'm a little concerned about just leaving it as grass.
Well, and I agree. Yeah.
You know, because that becomes a liability.
Because then you become, then becomes the fire marshal issue.
Right.
Yeah, no, and I agree. So I think we have to figure out how do we mitigate the space so that it's used appropriately.
Right. Because that was a point of discussion with the third party reviewer.
Sure.
So it's on record that's gotta be done in a certain way.
Yeah.
Seems to me that paths and some kind of shape of paths and through there is important, and then we can figure out what to do with on the outsides of the paths.
Yeah, and kids are gonna create their own paths. I mean, if our sidewalks aren't where the kids want to go, they're gonna elephant trail their own paths. So,
This is a controlled environment, so the kids are only going out there with a t-shirt.
right,
So you know, it's not like they're going out there for recess.
yeah, but we want to make sure the paths get them correctly from point A to point B, because once again, if you have a lot of curves in there and they don't want to walk the curve, they're going straight through. And, I just, like I said, I think what you did was great. I just think there's some opportunity to get it to a point that meets all the kids' needs and helps our budget number.
I think you can have garden clubs and other help, you know, do stuff inside. As long as
I give it to the second graders.
Yeah, as long as there's, you get a wheelbarrow through
Yeah,
there.
adopt a plot, you know, everybody can have a little plot that they maintain, or, you know. Pick weeds for Eric.
sure.
Instead of detention.
Yeah, like weed.
So we'll have a future meeting on this.
Yeah, I just wonder, I know as we were talking about the stone dust and that being like slip resistant.
Firm, stable, slip resistant, it
Yeah,
has to
I
be.
do not find it to be accurate at all. Like, I would honestly tell you that my kid could not go out there.
Okay.
Like, I find that to actually be very slippery, and it does concern me for special needs kiddos, like, because I think it's like a kid's like natural reaction to kind of want to like, you know, it's like little pebbles. What do all our kids do? They like jump in them, they kick in them,
So-
you know, and I think
Are you-
like that part,
So I think what we need to do is make sure that we're talking about the same surface.
yeah,
So, yeah, because stone dust is used on trails a lot.
yeah.
So I want to make sure that it also has to be done correctly.
Any trails.
Yeah, it has to be compacted, it also has to be crowned. Otherwise, they invert and you can't do anything on them, but yeah.
Yeah, and then cause I immediately went to like kids in wheelchairs or like
Mm.
walkers and, you know, making sure that, you know, like there's wide enough space and
Mhm.
things like that, which I know obviously there would be, because it has to be ADA compliant, but.
Yeah. So we have to look at two networks. We have to look at the hardscape network of sidewalks and then the softer network, and make sure both
Yeah.
have a level of compatibility associated with them.
And then the last thing I was gonna say, I mean, I will just kind of concur with what Sydney was saying of like, for me, it is like a little bit of a tough pill to swallow, knowing like, oh, okay, so we're gonna choose tennis courts and pickleball courts. Like, to me, it feels like over an outdoor classroom. That's what it feels like right now. Like, to me, it's just more my parent hat on, not really board. I understand that we, you know, in theory, like made a commitment to put back the tennis court and pickleball courts, but I also think it's the school and what's gonna be best, like, for the kids. And what are we gonna get, like, the most, like, value out of?
Well, and I think we have to see where the outdoor classroom, what the outdoor classroom becomes.
Yeah,
So like I said, $275,000 for, it was an awful lot of, there was an awful lot of concrete that could be managed differently.
yeah.
So we, and I'll continue just to advocate for the learning things that we went through. That's my job. But we now would have about 34,378 for an outdoor classroom. That's where we are money wise right now. And that I do also want to advocate for the fact that we hopefully will, and this is a much bigger number, be able at some point to put back in the poured rubber on the playground surfacing for safety. Like, those are the two big things that I want to continue advocating for. And so anything that takes precedence over those things is problematic, in my opinion.
We've been getting numbers on those. It's like $500,000 just for the material.
Right.
So they have two numbers right now. They're trying to get four for me. One was 475, one was 500,000. We have credit for what we own, but it's still a big chunk of money. It's not
Rubber surface.
Yeah, the rubber surface.
Yeah. Well, that's not too far away from what the original estimate was. We knew it was
We're
like
at
450 or
710.
something like that.
710 was the original bid number. We went back and said, hey, that's high compared to the others.
Most playgrounds are using the engineered mulch.
Yeah.
Most playgrounds are using engineered mulch.
Well, it's just because they can't afford the rubber surfacing. Like, they know that the rubber surfacing is safer. Like, it's been pretty well researched and proven. It's just a cost factor, really.
Where does like engineered mulch go, like, on a playground? Because again, I just immediately went to like accessibility.
It goes under playscapes, under.
So like underneath like the
Yeah.
swings. So
Yeah,
like, how does a kid in a
your
wheelchair
access,
get
your
on a
walking,
swing?
your walking paths are typically covered with your rubber mulch.
Yeah,
Your walking areas, but they also have the matting. So everything's accessible. It's just areas where there's fall potential. You have the mulch. The Smith Park in Middletown has a lot of the engineered mulch in it on their new playground. So you can take a look there.
I just know, I'm like, coming from New Hampshire, we just did a playground project. New Hampshire just passed a law that no playground can be built without the poured rubber because of the safety. So like, it's really, I mean, I know Connecticut didn't do that, right? But it is because it has been shown to just be so much better for breaks, concussions, winter freezing, like those kind of things. There was one other thing that, I don't know, it was on the education impact, and it was the other one that was on a 0, for value engineering. I don't know if we already decided, but there was $30,000 for changing color PVC jacketing for the mechanical piping. Did we already decide on that one?
I think that was.
That one
One
came
of them accepted.
Okay.
Just getting the information on Ferguson, and that'll be changed.
Where's another 30?
Well, I don't know if it already came out in our.
Everything in GMP
It
already.
was in the GMP.
All right, can you have
Okay.
Christine sit with you on the
Either everything that
Cover
was
the-
outside of the GMP that we're
inside?
talking about.
Oh, on the outdoor classroom.
That's the list that I
Oh,
had from
absolutely.
our last discussion, right? But
Well,
I didn't know
think,
the
you know,
outcome of that one.
You're
That's
the persons that need to get
That's
through
that's
there.
in the
yeah,
GMP.
no,
So that could come out.
It's
I
going to
always
come
go
out.
to
That's in 13 that was accepted.
even like with the playground, mulch doesn't work, but we have
Yeah.
a lot of issues right now with kids not being able to
Accessibility, no.
really like engage in recess,
Yeah.
in playtime,
Agreed.
and it breaks my heart.
And that also, I mean, yeah, so the walkways are a factor with that, and the solid or the poured rubber is also a
Yeah.
factor. And, equipment too comes into play, so it's not just those things, but just making sure that.
So we'll have a little working group to discuss the outdoor classroom. We'll schedule a meeting. We'll get a smaller subset of us.
So did you agree to remove irrigation canopy 4 with the benches for now
And the lights,
and the lights, we don't have a firm number yet, but the lights,
estimated 20.
20. Did you want to vote on that tonight? So at least we have somewhere to go?
So we've got irrigation, we've got canopy 4.
Yep.
Darren, how do you feel about the colored concrete? Or do you want to just take that to a vote and see where everybody stands?
So if we're accepting 10B, 27, and then 20K for the lights, we're at 212.
We're not accepting the lights yet because we don't know the cost yet.
So
I'm
we're
just
at
saying-
194, 378 then.
So how about tonight we do canopy and irrigation, and the next meeting we can discuss colored concrete and the lights.
Gets us some-
And outdoor classroom.
Well, outdoor classroom's gonna be
Subcommittee.
a subcommittee entirely where that's gonna be, yeah, we're not gonna accept the 275,000. It's just a matter of what are we gonna design it to and, you know, add on to the contract. Because there's gonna be some outdoor classroom, we just have to figure out what it is.
When's the earthwork have to be done? You said in the spring? But we'll be able to get over the foundation and stuff?
The building will be up by then. But
Huh?
we're gonna have through the building.
Who's the chief minis?
Yeah, they'll just come through the building. The whole addition's gonna be up already by then.
Yeah.
And when we start foundations in a couple weeks and steel will be up.
So there's
You're gonna be
nothing-
almost done is what you're saying.
Yeah,
But you're planning on that anyway, but.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've done it before and stuff like that. But just protect the floors and stuff down.
You can get the right size equipment through the building or whatever.
Then they can fit through a door.
Or should we just vote on this stamp concrete?
You wanna vote, well, do you want, well, why don't we hold off on the stamped concrete? But we should vote on, the canopy and the irrigation? Were those the two, Kim, that you had?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I suddenly go silent, Howie, on any of these decisions, it's because I'm just so aggravated that we're in this position that just don't want to be part of it.
Yep,
And you guys can make a reasonable decision, and I trust you.
Well, we haven't, mediation is set up, right?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, but we just shouldn't be here. We shouldn't.
No, this should, everybody agrees this shouldn't even be a discussion, but,
In my opinion, is that Middlefield can pay for pickleball courts with the profits from
so.
building
Mhm.
commission, but.
Can we wait to vote on the canopy?
I personally, I would be voting against the canopy regardless of what we were doing for a budget decision, so I think we should vote on it. And if we oppose, we oppose. We don't have to be unanimous in any of our decisions.
So the stamp concrete is what number?
We could vote on the, vote on the.
38.
Well, so
I
we
think the
can vote
canopy and
on-
the irrigation are obvious.
so why don't we vote on each one individually?
And we're doing the canopy and the without the benches, right?
Canopy, no benches.
So 10B and 27 are, I think, are pretty obvious.
Great.
Well, we're gonna vote independently just so that, if anybody is opposed to any of them, we can agree. So let's go with the easy one first. Do you want to vote on the irrigation, removing irrigation from the, project?
Yes.
All right, can we get a motion to remove what number?
Okay, wait, first.
27.
I wanna-
Right.
We need to give it 180. Right?
Well, yeah, we're not gonna get there today.
Yeah, we will.
We're not getting.
Yeah, we are.
Well,
We're going over that.
We're going
Okay.
to get past 180.
Okay,
So what number's irrigation?
30.
30.
Can we,
So of that, so now we're down to.
put right the
180.
list up, can you reshare it? Just-
yeah, can you reshare the list?
10B is 164, so we'll be removing 924 if we vote affirmatively for both of those.
Right, but there may be some opposition to one as opposed to the other, so we're gonna vote on them independently.
Fair enough.
So I think to your point, start with irrigation.
Yes, let's, so let's discuss irrigation. Does anybody want to make a motion to,
I will.
accept the removal of irrigation from the contract?
Yes.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table
To remove
to,
line item.
remove item 27, irrigation allowance, $30,000.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, irrigation is now moved to the, VE item accepted.
Okay,
So let's go,
canopy and benches.
okay, let's go to 10B. We're gonna want a motion to delete, front entrance canopy 4 without benches,
What's the number?
$164,378.
So those two get us,
Within budget.
and then we can deal with the rest later.
Yes.
Okay. I make a motion to delete line item ND from the plan for whatever. the
hundred sixty-eight thousand, three hundred seventy-eight.
Canopies and benches.
$164,378. Okay.
I'll sign.
Okay, we have a motion on the table to delete item 10B, delete front entrance canopy number 4 without benches. For $164,378. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed?
Opposed.
Okay. Okay, motion passes, not unanimously, but, motion does pass.
So we are now on budget, with a lot of questions about
Right.
what else we're
But we
doing.
still have a couple of items still on the table. We have concrete, for 30, how much?
38.
38,000, that's colored and stamped concrete, at the front. And then we also have, tennis court lighting. In the for, approximately 20,000.
And 18 and 19. Those
Yeah.
are possible.
Yes, and then 18 and 19 are possible.
And pickleball courts, half the pickleball courts, so, right, or is that how?
They're gonna get an idea for it, but we don't anticipate the cost is going to be significant enough to warrant anything.
Okay, but I
But we are gonna check to see, I mean, yeah.
But before we start taking pieces out that I'd rather hear.
Yeah,
The outdoor
absolutely.
classroom is as a total nut or three, we can do 100,000, we can do 150, we could do a
Exactly.
$75,000 one, and then we know which pieces we need to
Yep.
take out. So since we're on
So
target
the
right
tennis
now, I
court and
suggest-
then tennis, and then, so the court lighting and then the half, resurfacing.
And for 18 and 19, Ferguson's gonna provide additional information now that they've seen the site.
So we'll coordinate with ONG to kind of move that along the paths of
Yeah.
the AHJ.
So Howie, I'd rather have a plan for, we'd like to get the outdoor classroom of these three options. What can we take out to get there rather than do anything else at this point? So I think the outdoor classroom is the next step.
We have no idea what the outdoor classroom is
From
gonna
the subcommittee, because we don't need to do anything now because we're on
Yeah,
target. for
yeah,
budget.
absolutely, yeah.
Right, so I suggest getting some information about the outdoor classroom from the subcommittee. And then we can say, if we do these things, we can get this one, or if we do these things, we can get this one,
Yes, that's right.
rather than take this
Well,
out.
we have to come up with a couple of different levels of design and understand where they're gonna lie, so.
Yeah.
All right. So we need to we'll need to establish a subcommittee that does not comprise of enough members of anything to constitute quorum. So we'll have some small internal discussions. Kim, what's our maximum size that we can have? So we can have 5 people, building committee and, five building committee max, plus Eric, obviously, in person.
Before we completely go to the invoices or something else. So the 18 and 19 we're checking on, right? And
Mhm.
where are we with 24? Did we talk about 24?
I think the laminate was one of them.
Yeah, so I think we took one of the other options already. The larger one, I think it was 164,000 or something.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's, this one's void, because it was option 1 or option 2, we've already took one of the options.
Yeah, so we can probably just like.
So that one, let's remove that.
Yeah,
Just-
that's what I get.
just so we're
Tell me
not-
if I knew which ones we didn't have to decide on anymore.
Yeah, I just highlighted the ones in yellow, were the ones that we wanted to talk about. Everything else was kind of off the table.
There was one, I think, Sydney, you're right, in the very front top. Laminate countertop, alternate 10.
Right, so we had rejected that, right?
Yeah, originally rejected, but
Mhm.
figured if you want to bring it back on the table, if not, I can say rejected.
Well, stamp concrete's in a rejected column right now.
Right, those are the two, yeah.
So I'd just like to go on the record as saying is I'm not comfortable cutting anything else out of the project at this point. Until we know more about how we're going to potentially value engineer the outdoor classroom and get final numbers on the other items that are on here. If the committee wants to bring things forward, that's fine, but it's just going to force me to vote against it.
I agree with that tactic.
Yeah, I agree.
So just for clarification, 11, which is accept alternate 10, was to remove the solid surface and make it
And
laminate.
laminate, and we rejected that.
Yes,
And
we
that's
don't want
step,
that.
right, so
So it's gonna
that's
stay
done.
That
rejected.
stays rejected.
All right, so I'll take that out for us.
which means.
It's just, we talked last.
You have it as rejected.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, but when we talked last.
We're getting all the applicants.
It
Should number 9 shouldn't be rejected though, right?
It was rejected.
Oh, was rejected?
Yeah, it was.
Right now, we own it in the scope. We own colored concrete in the scope.
Yep.
This would be revisited.
But when we came over budget, we said, let's put everything back on the table, and kind of rediscuss it, that's all.
Okay, we'll schedule a little subcommittee. We'll convene a couple of us.
So, stamped and colored is primarily just that outdoor eating area. And paths to it.
Primarily, yeah, it's gonna be located more toward the front of the school. Where we have it kind of allocated.
I mean, I think I like that as a separation, so you're not eating on the sidewalk when everything else is paid, just as a.
It was the main entrance to the building, and that's
Okay.
one of the things that we were using to define the main entrance.
Yeah, just think. I think so, yes. But anyway.
Okay, vote on, invoices.
Okay. We have two invoices. We have one for Eversource. Invoice 5189-758-0163, $439.20 for electricity for the portables for June. We have QA&M invoice 18113, $42,544.56 for construction administration. O&G payment 847,711.83. That's for construction manager. Mobile Modular invoice 2925938, $3,554 for the month of June. DACO invoice 36215, $14,296.80 for the month of June. And CubeSmart invoice 177473, $272 for the month of July.
Don't move.
Okay, any, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? We have a motion on the table to approve all invoices, as indicated by Kim, and, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Any members of the public still? Do we have any members of the public? It says one attendee.
Thank you. Yes, there is one. If there's someone who would like to talk, if you'd like to talk, please raise your hand. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion.
Thank you, guys.
Great job, everybody.